Hello everyone, this is Rusty Bradshaw and I'm here to talk a little football. Those people who know me and have seen my other videos know that I'm a huge football fan, and I love the fact that we have spring football, meaning that once the NFL is done, a few months later, we got another season going on, and I just love it. What we have for spring football is the United Football League. And this grew out of a revival of the old 1980s United States Football League, which started and played one season, and then they had a rival league, the XFL. They coexisted for a couple of years and then decided to merge and became the United Football League. This year, they've made some changes. They have a new partner in the ownership group, Mike Rapoli, and they're switching their focus a little bit. Now they want teams in smaller markets and in smaller stadiums, which I do think is a very good idea and one that they should have gone with in the beginning. Trying to fill 65, 75,000 seat stadiums in the spring is just not feasible. We've seen it before with all the other spring leagues. So this move, I think, is great. I'm not as excited about some of the other moves they've done because they relocated 3 teams to different markets. Good idea, but I would have preferred they stay in the markets they're in, but find better, smaller stadiums to go into. One of the teams they relocated was the Michigan Panthers, who started drawing some bigger and bigger crowds at the stadium the Detroit Lions play in. But they couldn't find a smaller venue in the Detroit area, so they became one of the teams that moved. Now, the lineup for the the UFL is the Birmingham Stallions, Columbus Aviators, Dallas Renegades, DC Defenders, Houston Gamblers, Louisville Kings, Orlando Storm, and St. Louis Battlehawks. Now the Stallions are the only team retained from the old regenerated USFL and the UFL. They did rebrand the Houston team into the Gamblers, which was in the original USFL in the 80s and was part of the reconstituted USFL in the 2020s. They're also rebranding the Arlington Renegades into the Dallas Renegades. They also have only 2 teams in Texas, which I think is a smart move, because if you have an overabundance of teams in one state, it's just oversaturating the market, I believe. I'm a little disappointed that they've gone away from the old USFL lineup, because I really was a fan of the USFL in the 80s. I was glad they brought it back in the 2020s, but we'll see. Now, they haven't been specific about which 3 teams were located to the new locations, but I can take an educated guess. I believe the Columbus Aviators would have been the Michigan Panthers. I believe the Louisville Kings are what was the Memphis Showboats. And I believe the Orlando Storm was what was the San Antonio Brahmas. It'll be interesting to see how this pans out. Now they're talking about further expansion of the league in 2028. And when that happens, I would like to see more of the old USFL teams come back. I can think of a couple, the Denver Gold, the Oakland Invaders, because I'd like to see them move a little more west. I'd like to see the Breakers come back, and whether they're in New Orleans or Portland, where they were. I think Portland would be the better choice because they do have a smaller stadium. Civic Stadium is a nice place. That's where the 85 Portland Breakers played, and I was at 8 of their 9 home games, 7 on the field, and it's a great environment, very closed-in stadium, smaller. The first game they had there, they had 17,000 people. So I think that would be a good choice. So I'm looking forward to spring, and I'm happy to see a lot of these changes. One thing that I'd like them to do, which they haven't done yet, is get away from the hub system. The teams need to be located in the communities that they represent. Now, they say that's coming, but I think we've done enough of the hub thing. Get them into the communities. They're talking about having the teams in the communities, which they'll be representing for a couple of days before each game. That's not enough. You need to have the players and the staff and everything there so that they can constantly market the team. That's one of the things that I think the UFL has been missing, is good marketing. So we'll see what happens. Can't wait for spring, and thank you for watching.